Following a worldwide manhunt that lasted over 4 years, 2 men were captured in the winter of 2017 and brought to trial. They face charges including attempts to violate pop culture and sabotage the planet's entertainment industry. After being held for less than 48 hours, these 2 men escaped from a maximum security facility. The fugitives are now believed to be holding up in an unknown secret location where they continue to broadcast their messages to their ever-growing army of renegade followers. Known only by the code names of Theo Kane and Respect BA, these men are armed, these men are dangerous, and these men are criminals.
1, 2, testing. This is Theo Kane.
And Respect BA.
And you are now locked into the sound of the Slimehouse Squadcast.
And this is the Lowdown Shelter.
Back again. And you are now locked into the sounds of the Lowdown Shelter with myself, Theo Kane, and again, no respect BA, and with Chris Hill, my friend who's a filmmaker, a film fanatic, and he's the guy that's been joining me this year for Celluloid Screams 2018. That's the films that we're going to be talking about in this kind of like little spin-off miniseries. It's not a normal part of the Lowdown Shelter. It's not a Patreon exclusive or nothing like that. It's just us talking about the movies of this year's Celluloid Screams. Yep. So last night we watched Mandy, which we talked about in the episode before this, which probably going to come out after this because I want to get this episode out today because we watched Halloween straight after, and Halloween comes out today. We saw it last night, so I thought let's get a review out the day that it comes out.
Back to front like me.
Yeah. So yeah, man, we watched Halloween. I was really fucking hyped for it. At the same time, I was well aware that it's probably not going to be the Halloween I want it to be. There's been lots of different sequels and revamps and different takes on it and retconning certain films and bringing it out again, like the Terminator franchise. They keep bringing them out, and it's like this one is getting rid of all the others before, and it's a direct sequel to this one or whatever. Growing up, I liked all the Halloweens, and it weren't until like years later that I watched them all again, and I was like, yeah, a lot of these are fucking ass. But we watched the new one last night, which is a direct sequel to the first Halloween movie ever, which means Halloween 2 and H2O and any of the others in between that were supposed to follow on from the first film are all being scrapped. So I always liked H2O.
Yeah, H2O was cool, man. Steve Miner, director of Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3, right?
Yeah, exactly. I always liked Halloween H2O. It had its flaws. It was very reminiscent of its time, and I can see why they've done another one now because they want to cash in on it. They want to do a different story and a different take on it. But I always liked H2O, so I was always going to be watching this and comparing it to certain points. In H2O, there's that part where she first sees him 20 years later. She sees him through the it's called what's that circle window called? It's called like a submarine like window, something like that, a parlor window or something. And they first see each other through the glass. And I always thought that it was such a sick moment when they first see each other after 20 fucking years. And I was waiting in this film for like that kind of moment and stuff like that. I was like, I hope they bring the theme in at the right time. I hope they don't just overuse the theme and it just comes in like at the start of the film and stuff like that. So I had a lot of reservations about it. But I went in with an open mind. It was the midnight showing of the film. We were the first people to see eyes on it. Everyone were really fucking hyped and in the moment. And then, we got to see it. What's your notes like for this one? I know you've not wrote as many notes as you did for Mandy.
Just the odd things like the director's name, David Gordon Green. He did Pineapple Express, you know what I mean? He did a few things.
Yeah,
he did
a weird director. Everything we've looked in,
everything's comedic, innit?
Everything we've done has been a comedy, and it was.
I can't speak for the Nicolas Cage one though, Joe. I've not seen it. It looked quite serious.
Oh yeah, you've not seen that.
I've not seen that.
What was the who was the guy that co-wrote this film?
Danny McBride.
Random, but yeah, I know
Kenny Powers, man.
Yeah, Kenny Powers, but I know he's been acting. Yeah, I saw him in Alien Covenant and stuff. He's acting in lots of different things. So he's not. Oh, he was in the new Cloverfield, I believe. Was he? I swear he was. Maybe I'm fucking tripping. But yeah, I know he's been doing a lot of different stuff. He's a multi-talented guy, and he doesn't just do comedy. So he's probably
the Foot Fist Way, good film. But I know it's comedy though. But
it's a comedy though. But it's weird. It's a weird fucking duo to be working on this thing. But you would never know that watching it. You'd never think. So overall, from the bat, did you like it?
I did. I thought it was cool, man.
I liked it.
I thought it was cool, especially when you compare it, because I have seen all the sequels. The only one I've not really seen, I can't lie about that. The only one I've not really seen is the one with Busta Rhymes, man. The one in the house.
Resurrection.
I've never watched that one.
I enjoyed it at the time, but it's not epic. You're not missing out. And they kill Laurie Strode in the first 2 minutes of film, so it's you're not missing nothing.
I'm not too big fan of the many of the sequels. Number 2 is cool. There's quite a few all right ones. But,
I liked number 2.
But this one I thought it was cool, man. I enjoyed it. I didn't have high expectations.
No.
I was glad to go in. I'm glad that John Carpenter had his hands in it again, and Jamie Lee Curtis was back again, and that's cool. I liked how Jamie Lee Curtis was hard as fuck, man. She was cool, she was tough, man.
So I think maybe first of all, if we talk about the things that we liked about it, and then I'll talk about the things that we didn't like. The things that I really liked about it, I thought
the music
was top. The music was top. It did come in at some points when I didn't want it to, but we'll talk about that and stuff that I didn't like it. I thought Michael Myers was cool.
Yes.
Obviously, Jamie Lee Curtis was fucking awesome. The tone was there.
I tell you what I didn't mind. I liked the teens in it. The teens. Usually you get these films, you get slasher films where the teens are annoying. You don't give a fuck if they're just knife fodder or whatever they get. They get it with head shears or whatever they get. They're just taken off and you don't give a shit about them. These ones, I actually... It was cool.
Yeah,
I suppose
they all did have their own.
They were likeable.
Their own little tropes, except that the girls. Obviously, remember, spoilers all the way through this. There's going to be spoilers, so straight away we will get into spoilers. If you've not seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen to this podcast until after the film. So the dude that goes out with the girl, him who goes on Port Cherokee, he goes out with Laurie Strode's great granddaughter. He don't die, does he? He's the biggest dickhead in the film.
Which one is that one?
The one who chucks a phone in the custard. He don't die.
Does he not?
Him who gets in with the girl dressed as a tiger.
Did he just stay there?
He stayed at the party.
Yeah, but he's going to be banging away. Why would you leave?
I'm just saying he doesn't die. Usually the dickhead dies.
He's going to set the tiger chick out, man.
So the main story is that there's these two, and they're podcasters. So they're these two guys that are podcasters that investigate murders. They've got award-winning radio podcasts, and what they do is they're doing an investigation now on Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. The other plot point is that Laurie Strode now is a recluse. She lives on her own in this like compound that she's built herself that's got mannequins everywhere that she shoots and does target practice on. She's got a ton of guns. She's full on fucking Sarah Connor. She's got a daughter that she doesn't really speak to, and she's got a granddaughter that she's got a good relationship with. Yeah. So there's been like there's two generations now of Strodes. And so what we see from the start of the film is these podcasters go to they're at the mental asylum where Michael Myers is being kept, and even straight off the bat, I always find it weird that Michael Myers would be held in an asylum. I didn't like it when they did it in the first Halloween. I know he's being held in a mental asylum. I don't know how you do it, but I always think it's a bit dodgy that you just got this dude who's like a fucking superhuman, like don't feel pain, super strong guy, and he's just in a mental asylum chained up, and there's no resistance there.
Giant weight.
Yeah, like giant weight. So they basically say he's never uttered a word. He can speak, he just doesn't speak.
Yeah.
He's So there's a doctor in it that's like the new Dr. Loomis. He even mentions Dr. Loomis, doesn't he?
She says it. Jamie Lee Curtis says you're the new
Loomis. Before that, he says, I took over Dr. Loomis.
Yes,
he's doing a little interview with the podcasters. So the podcasters turn up at the mental asylum with this doctor, and they go, we want to meet Michael Myers. So they go out into like the area that they can have a bit of fucking sunshine, I suppose.
Yes.
They're still chained to the floor. The yard, that's the yard.
Looked like a figure, didn't it? The way the floor was like a chessboard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was red and white in squares, and each crazy person had their own square. It's full of weird, crazy people. And they go out to see Michael Myers, and he stood with the back to the camera. Now, straight away, this is something that I didn't like. You see a bit too much of Michael Myers. You don't see his face, but you see the back of his head, you see his ears, you see the side of his face. You see enough to know I kind of can see what this guy looks like. I forget the name of the dude that plays Michael Myers. Growing up, that dude was never like a big name for me. The dude who actually plays Michael Myers, who played him in the first film, because he plays him in this one. I don't know if you know, but we all know what he looks like now, and we don't need to see his face in the new movie. I don't know if they showed his face because they wanted to. They wanted to show, look, it's the same guy that played him in the first one.
Possibly that.
Maybe it's that. But then again, I don't think his face... He's not...
Nick Castle, isn't it?
Nick Castle, of course. That's his name. So I don't think we... I think we saw a little bit too much of him, even though we didn't see his face. We saw a bit of too much of him to take away the it took away a little bit of the mystery with Michael Myers with me.
It didn't bother me that much.
Did it not?
You know what I mean?
It did me. I think to me, Michael Myers is a mask. That's him. You don't want to see his face. You do see his face in the first film for a second, but it's still low light. It's been 40 years later. We don't want to see how he looks as he's aged and nothing like that. We just need to know he's big as fuck and he's fucking unstoppable. So he's in this yard, and for some reason, the fucking dickhead podcasters, who were the most annoying characters in the film, the male one pulls out the Michael Myers mask, puts it in front of him and goes, Michael, look at the mask, Michael. What do you feel, Michael? Say something, Michael. Say something, and start shouting. And I think, first of all, why is this dickhead got the mask of a killer? Because I've borrowed it. Because I borrowed it from the police department. Why they would borrow out that mask on Halloween to a fucking podcaster is beyond me. Also, why is this guy shouting to the guy, wake up, Mike, look, talk to me, Michael, talk to me. I'm like, what the fuck are you trying to do? Poke the bear like so much that you're trying to provoke a fucking mental cunt with a mask. So the fact that they even let him in the yard to do that, I don't know why they do that, but whatever. And then,
but we find later on that there's some dodgy in there.
Yeah, maybe. But I suppose that maybe
that's why he got through.
Later on that might explain why he got through. And then we're introduced to Laurie Strode. The podcasters turn up at her house, try and do an interview, ask some inappropriate questions about her and her daughter and why she's not allowed to see her because her daughter was took off her because she was so focused on surviving against Michael Myers in his return that she had a daughter took off her and stuff. So they start prying and asking those kind of questions, and Laurie Strode's like, look, just get out of my house kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we find out that the next day there's going to be a transfer. Michael Myers is getting transferred from his current facility, which looks pretty nice as far as mental asylums go. It looks pretty chill.
Did he explain at the beginning why he was getting transferred? He didn't explain.
They just said we've done all the research we think we can on him. We've got nothing else. Yeah, he goes, we've got nothing else to find out about this guy. We're going to send him to another facility that's nowhere near as nice as this one, and that's where he'll live at the end of his days.
Cool.
Laurie Strode's aware of that. She's waiting with a gun to kind of just as the bus is pulling up. So the next day, we see that Michael Myers is getting transferred to a bus. And again, to me, you can't just transfer Michael Myers with 30 other patients on a bus. It don't work like that. Michael Myers is the worst of the worst that there's ever been.
You put him in a tank like the Hulk or some shit.
Yeah. But exactly. But at the same time, because this film takes place just after the first one, this is a Michael Myers that's only killed 5 people. Yeah. There's probably a ton of those maniacs in there that have killed fucking more than 5 people.
Done worse than that.
Yeah, done worse than killed 5 people. And they even say that later on. One of the kids says, "This isn't even a big." People talk about Michael Myers. He only killed 5 people. By today's standards, that's nothing. Yeah. Whereas if it were the Michael Myers that's gone through all these different movies and he's killed a ton of people, then he's got more of that. He's got more of that infamousness about him. He's more of a problem. So the fact that they transfer him with other patients in this film, it probably makes sense. But to me, Michael Myers, he doesn't get transferred with anyone. He needs 10 cars travelling him anywhere, like a motorcade to take him to his new facility. Either way, they put him in a bus with a load of other guys, and the doctor that's looking after him says, I'm going to travel with Michael Myers. I'm going to stay with him till the very end, until he's in the hands of his new carers. So you think, okay, he respects him enough that he's looked after him for many years, and he just wants to make sure he gets to his new place properly. Other shit happens, and then the bus crashes. We find out that the bus crashes, and it's really good how we find out, because we cut to a shot of some dude's driving
with his son in the car.
A guy with his son driving, talking about hunting.
You think you did mention to me that's how it's going to crash.
They're going to crash into the bus, aren't they? This is where it's going to happen. So they're driving, then all of a sudden he nearly crashes, and he stops his car, and there's just mental patients walking in the road.
He nearly crashes because the bus has already crashed.
Yeah, the bus has already crashed.
So it's like, wow, so it wasn't like you didn't.
So you're like, fuck, shit, how's this happened? And we've got mental patients walking all over the road. So that's how the escape happens. Laurie Strode finds out that there's been an escape. She's going mental, collecting all her guns, trying to get a family to come with her. They don't believe her. It's Halloween night, and there's a copper in it that wears a cowboy hat that's cool. And I thought he was going to turn up again. He's in a couple of scenes, and he's funny, and I'm thinking this is going to be the copper that's going to like be there taking out Michael Myers, and he's literally in a few scenes, and that's it. But he mentions, doesn't he? He says, "Oh, Michael Myers loose on Halloween night. What's 40 years to the day that we captured him? What's the chances of that?
And what we're gonna do? Close down Halloween?
Yeah, what we're gonna do? Cancel Halloween?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah."
So from that point, we see the podcasters have got the Michael Myers mask in the boot. They go to a petrol station to get some supplies, whatever, and she goes to a toilet, and then while she's at the toilet, we see Michael Myers is in a car that he's stolen from someone. We see him in the blurred background. He turns up again. We don't see his face, but we see like he's got like a white beard, sideburns, and that kind of thing. He turns up, and then through the corner of another guy's eye, but he doesn't see it. We see him smashing someone's face in on the floor.
Yeah, it's little bits. It's through the gap in a window, isn't
That's
it?
It's
like very
or the mirror reflection or some shit like that. We see Michael Myers on the floor punching some guy in his white gown.
Yes.
Then we see her go to the toilet, and this scene starts what we've seen in the trailer.
Yes, his overalls.
Michael Myers walks in. He's got the overalls on. Mm-hmm. And this is the first thing when I watched the trailer that I didn't like. Michael Myers puts his hand over the toilet. He's banging on the stalls and he's trying to find who's in them. And he goes to the girls' one, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, there's someone in here." So he starts banging, and then he puts his hand over the top, and he drops a load of teeth, human teeth. Now, to me, that's not Michael Myers. Michael Myers isn't calculated in that way.
Yes,
he's very sneaky. He's very clever. He doesn't need to run to get to you. He'll always get to you. But he doesn't pull someone's teeth out and then drop them in front of you to scare you. That's not Michael Myers to me. That's not my Michael Myers anyway. That's not my Michael Myers. I understand that they probably want to give him a bit more dynamic than a normal slasher, but to me, Michael Myers doesn't just fucking... He does. He's not like Leatherface. Right? Yeah, he's not Leatherface. He won't take your face and sew it into an intricate mask and wear it. And that he's not that guy. He's like Jason in the way that he'll just shank the fuck out of you or smash your head into a sink. Yeah. He's brutal, but he don't do stuff to like purposely scare you. In my opinion,
to mess with you psychologically.
I mean, we've got the bit in Halloween 1 where he puts the sheet over his head and he pretends. So that again, but I saw that again as he's just hiding his face. Yeah. I don't think he'd take someone's teeth out.
Okay.
But then again, he gets the fucking tombstone, doesn't he, and puts it in the bed. Here lies Judith Myers and stuff. So I don't think he'd take someone's teeth out, personally. Yeah. Anyway, it's really good. He fucking he brutally kills both the podcasters in the bathroom stall, and he smashes the fucking shit out of them.
Yeah, it's quite brutal.
He bashes the fucking shit out of them. Oh, what about when he kills a little kid? He kills a little kid at the start of when he first gets out. He kills like a fucking 11-year-old boy.
It's the car crash, isn't it? Like So when the bus has crashed, he's in the car. The kid goes out, researches to find out where his dad is gone.
Find out his dad. Yeah.
Gets back. He shoots someone in the actual fucking van, doesn't he? In the bus.
That's all details that we don't need to go into. We'll just confuse people.
Yeah, no worries. Anyway, he gets back into the car. And Mike's there, like usual, in the back seat, like he is in the original film, and he kills the young lad.
And everyone at cinema went, oh,
yeah,
because he killed the fucking child. Yeah, so this is when you're like, yeah, no, Michael Myers is the evilest.
This is what made you feel later on when he walked through the house when there was a baby in the car. You thought, fuck, what's he gonna do?
Even Jason Voorhees leaves the kids. Do you know what I mean? He don't murk kids because he sees himself in the young kids. Yeah, and Michael Myers don't give a fuck. So we see later on that Michael Myers is bashed. He got his overall because he bashed some guy's head in with a hammer. He's killed a guy who was in the shop. And all his jaws hanging off. Yeah, he really fucking brutal. He's the most brutal I think we've seen Michael Myers, in my opinion.
So he gets his overalls. He gets a car as well, doesn't he?
He gets a car.
He gets his mask. He gets his mask.
He gets his mask out the back of the car. He knew it were there, and he puts it on.
The podcasters.
Yeah, he gets the mask off the podcasters, and then he's driving a car. He does a lot of fucking driving in this film. Michael Myers is driving all over in this fucking movie. And then from there, I kind of felt like it became like a Michael Myers movie because we're following him.
Yes.
He walks out into the. It's nighttime.
A lot of nice shots in it, following him.
He walks out, it's nighttime, and there's all kids running around trick-or-treating, and he's looking around, and he just starts walking into random houses.
Yeah, you see it in the trailer, he goes over to, or a clip it is, on YouTube. He goes into the actual, the garage.
Steadicam shot
first grabs the hammer, then he gets into the house to get his knife.
Yeah, and
then he goes out of the house, goes into another house. It's like, cool, isn't it?
It's just like... Yeah, there's no fucking coordination. He's just walking into houses.
He's had all them years back in that mental home. He's thinking, I want to fucking kill someone.
Yeah. He's walking into random houses, just murking people. But it's done cleverly.
Oh yeah, it's not. It's done stylish as well.
It's nothing to do with the story apart from to add to the body count.
Yeah.
He's got no motive for killing these people. He's just random. He's got these people everywhere. So he's like, he's just killing the closest ones to him, I suppose.
Yeah.
But what's nice is the camera work, how it travels round, and then sometimes it follows him for a bit, then it pans to the window,
and then
we see him walking inside the house, and then out of it.
Very good.
And then there was a bit where he walks past he kills a woman in a kitchen, and we hear a kid crying, and he walks into a room, and you think, yo, he's going to shank this kid. He's going to kill the kid.
It's a baby, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do it. If he kills a little kid, I don't know why he didn't kill the baby.
But that was the whole point. It gives us a horrifying feeling to think like, oh my god, he's killed a child before. He's going to kill this baby. But he just looks at the baby and gets off. It's a nice.
Yeah.
But sorry for the spoilers.
But I only think that the only reason he didn't kill the kid is because there's just so many people around him. He's like just got his pick. He can just kill
the baby, isn't
he?
He needed the car. He killed the kid because he needed the car. This one, he just fucking... He doesn't need that little baby.
Yeah, but he could have thrown the kid out of the car. He just killed him because it's Michael Myers. So he goes on this mad killing spree with lots of clever shots. And all this stuff I loved. I thought it were really fucking good. We get the nice nod to Halloween, the season of the witch. We get the 3 silver shamrock masks. We see them, which is fucking cool. Just while we're talking about it, while I remember, what I want to go back... Because at this point, we've still not... Michael Myers and Judith have still not seen... Laurie Strode have still not seen each other. They've still not seen each other. Okay, I'll just talk about this bit for a minute then. This is when we first see... that she knows that he's out, he's on a rampage, and at some point, my memory's hazy, but this is when she first sees Michael Myers, and she sees him in a window, because she comes out with a gun, and she's going, everybody get inside, she knows Michael Myers is out.
Yeah.
She's looking around with a gun, and then she sees him stood in a window, she goes, bang, she shoots, and then it cracks the glass, so she hasn't actually seen it. She shoots a mirror.
And it shoots through a window, so it's a mirror that's looking straight out.
She knows he's in that house. My memory's all over with what happens. But what I'm trying to say is, I wanted the Halloween theme to come in. I think when she first saw him, I think in my head I had it that when she first saw him, that's when it's to go ding 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 ding, and that's when you're like, yo, now we're into a Halloween movie. It's them two against each other, and they put the theme in already at the start of the film. I really like the intro to this movie. If we're just rewinding a little bit. It's a fucking rotten pumpkin on the floor, and I thought,
squashed it.
I thought that's kind of funny. It's fucking rotten, obviously, and then it slowly starts building up, and it's like in reverse footage we see it manifest back into a nice healthy pumpkin, the same pumpkin from the first movie.
Cool.
And I really like that for the intro with the title, but I just wanted personally the title music, ding 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 ding. I wanted that to come in when she first saw Michael Myers. And because in H2O, like I said before, when she first sees him through that porthole, it's such a fucking momentous occasion. I didn't feel like in this film there was ever a point where she actually, when they first have that fucking stare down, when she does see him, she sees him at the end.
It wasn't a stare down, definitely not.
She sees him through the little crack outside when he's coming to a house at the end. There's none of that stare down. You wanted them to just be like looking at each other like this is fucking war now. She's been training up for this for years. He's been thinking for the last 40 years how he wants to kill her.
Yeah.
Them two facing each other. It's when that music should have gone ding 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 come in. Just me personally.
Yeah, it didn't bother me, but yeah.
Did it not? Yeah, that's and when they did the same in Predator, the new Predator. They put the intro music straight from the start of the film. It's like let us wait for it. Get to that point and then hit us with the intro music, and that's going to give us all the feels.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, we were saying before about the teenagers that they're very likable. There's a girl who's a babysitter and she's looking after a little kid. And some people said that they were laughing at the dialogue the little kid was saying. I thought you were too savvy and he had too much of an attitude for a little kid. It felt very scripted.
It was a little bit funny, but yeah, it went to when it needed to be serious. That kid needed to not do jokes, and he was still having jokes.
Yeah, he's still having jokes. Why
this babysitter's getting killed?
Yeah, the babysitter's talking to a friend on the phone, which is Laurie Strode's granddaughter, and she's saying, "Oh, come over. We can get some abracadabra." And then she puts the phone down, and the little kid's like, "Why are you telling your friend to get some weed?" And she's like, "I didn't sell weed." He's like, and he says, "Bear in mind, this kid's like 6." And he says, "Abracadabra means weed. I ain't stupid." And then she says something like, "Oh, well, you should be in bed." And he's like, "Yeah, but I'm not in bed. I'm down here clipping my nasty ass toenails." And like, a 6-year-old won't come out with that shit. It's so fucking scripted. It was like something. It was just like something from a fucking rom-com. It didn't work for me, that dialogue. I don't like when they add dialogue that's obviously so fucking scripted to a point that like. He would never say that. Yeah. Just him trying to remember that on paper would be hard enough for him to just come fucking out of it. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't like that bit. But like, I thought the babysitter was really likable because she weren't.
I thought it was cool when the kid said to her, he said, "There's a kid. There's someone in my room. I've seen him out in a nasty ass mask." He come down. He went, "You go first," to the lad, didn't he?
Yeah.
So you go. Send him first instead of the girl.
That's later on. I don't want to confuse people with just throwing bits out there. But this girl's really likable. She's not a cunt babysitter. She said she lets the kid stay up late, and then when she puts him to bed, she says, "You're my favourite kid that I look after." And she's cool. She's nice. And when he thinks that Michael Myers is in the house, she's the first to go up and look for it. And you know what I mean? She's not no dickhead. She's cool. I liked her a lot. They all get killed.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
This is when she first sees Myers, isn't it?
This is just before when we first see Myers. That's the house he's in. But I like how he does some classic. He stabs a guy to the wall.
Oh yeah.
He does some brutal shit. Classic Michael Myers shit. That's what we expect from Michael Myers. So now, if we're just going back to a little bit about the doctor that's in it. So the doctor, he's been on the bus. He got injured on the bus. He got accidentally shot by the kid, and then the next day they've got him in hospital. They've saved him, and he's all right. And now he's back with the police trying to help them find Michael Myers. And he's like, "Look, I looked after Michael Myers for years. I know everything about him. But let's find this guy." And this is. And if we just zoom a little bit forward, because lots of stuff happens, I'm not going to talk about every plot point. This is a bit that really...
People's heads are racing now. Like,
yeah, this was really a game changer to me. There was a couple of little iffy bits. There's a couple of flashbacks when Laurie Strode's daughter is telling her granddaughter why I don't have nothing to do with your grandma. And she's like, "She taught me how to fight." And then it cuts the flashbacks like a little kid punching a punch bag and shoot guns and shooting and gun. I don't think we needed those flashbacks. I think she could have just said it subtly without having to see cheesy flashbacks. But that's whatever. It's whatever. I'm not going to... That didn't take me away from the movie that much. The thing that really took me away from the movie is this bit with the doctor. So the doctor and a copper are tracking down Michael Myers. They see him in the middle of the street, and the doctor and the cop, who's the main cop, who was the original guy that brought Michael Myers in 40 years ago, says, "That's him. Let's take him out." Drives towards him. Pow! Blasts into Michael Myers. Puts him on his arse.
Yes.
They come out, the cop pulls his gun out, he's like, right to shoot him, and the doctor's like, no, don't shoot him. And the doctor's like, "Why not? I'm going to blow his fucking head off." He's like, no, you killed him, you killed Michael Myers. Don't you realise how much of a special fucking person this is? Like, this is a guy that's like, there's never been anyone that's like this psychotic. You've just killed him, and he's like, he needs to die. Next minute, the doctor pulls out a little fucking sneaky shank out of his pen and just fucking jibs the copper in the neck and kills him. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then the doctor turns around and is like, "So this is how it feels," and puts the Michael Myers mask on. And this is when it went really into like Texas Chainsaw The Next Generation territory for me. Just this moment, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, do you not realise how much it takes to fucking kill someone, stab him in the neck? They're trying to hype up that this doctor is obsessed with Michael Myers. from the start where he's like, I want to sit with him on the bus.
Yes.
Just have him that he doesn't want to waste what an anomaly he is. But for him to actually kill the fucking copper with a Stanley and then put the Michael Myers mask on, like he's actually insane himself, that was just too much of a stupid plot point for me. They could have worked that in and segued it in so much better and just had it that he wrestled with the copper and the copper accidentally shot himself or something. Do you know what I mean? If it'd have like, no, don't shoot him, and then he wrestled with a copper and accidentally shot the copper in the neck by accident or something like that, that would have worked so much better. The fact he shanked him was just so fucking stupid. So then, at this point, there's Laurie Strode's granddaughter is in the back of the cop car. She's just seen what's happened. Then the doctor comes over with the Michael Myers mask on, drags Michael Myers' pretty lifeless body into the back of the car with some super strength.
Yeah,
because he's some little doctor,
guy,
little old doctor, and big old Michael Myers like Frankenstein puts him in the back of the car, and the little girl's going, "What you doing? What you doing?" And he's like, chucks Michael Myers' mask in the car, and he's like, I want to save Michael Myers. I want to bring Michael Myers to your grandma. I think that we can stop the beast by making him finally get what he wants or something.
What's on his? He wants to hear.
Yeah, he wants to hear Michael Myers talk. Why that little killing bit to me was so stupid, so pointless, and it really ruined the build up in this movie that we're building up. It was so fucking stupid. It's such a prime example of movies now, like the new Star Wars film, when they've got little daft bits that don't need to be in it, that if you just had an extra hour editing it, just chop that little bit out, rewrite that little bit, it would make the film flow so much better. But anyway, they quickly forgot about that bit, because within a few minutes later, Michael Myers wakes up, kicks all the fucking front of the cage in and kills the doctor anyway. So it's like it wasn't even like him and the doctor were friends. It was such a stupid plot point. So the doctor kills the bloke. The girl gets away. Michael Myers is back on a rampage. There's lots of kills that we haven't spoken about. He does lots of cool kills. There's lots of bits in it that's cool. But there's one bit, he kills these two coppers, and then he's put these coppers in the car, drove the fucking car back to... He knows where Judith Myers lives for some reason. Who knows where she lives in the middle of woods in this compound? But he's drove her to Judith Myers' house. Judith is now there with her daughter, her daughter's husband. No police are there anymore for some reason. The granddaughter's still off somewhere. Michael Myers turns up at the house straight away. He kills the fucking husband. He kills Laurie Strode's daughter's husband.
Made someone's head a fucking...
And then when he... but
pumpkin,
before
right?
that, he opens the car door and he's turned a copper's head into a pumpkin. Again, this isn't what Michael Myers does. Why would Michael Myers take the time to put two coppers in his car, drive them to Laurie Strode's house? At some point, he's also carved one's head into a pumpkin, hollowed it out, turned its face, cut the nose off and the eyes out and the mouth onto Leatherface shit, and put a lamp inside it. That's not Michael Myers.
Torch, yeah.
Weird. Yeah, he put the torch. It's not Michael Myers to me. It's some Leatherface shit.
Yeah.
I understand they're trying to build on the character and make him not just a soulless killer, but that's what he is. That's what people like about him. You don't need to make Michael Myers any deeper. He's not an artist. He's not Leatherface. Leatherface turns your head into a pumpkin. Michael Myers don't do that. He just smashes your head into a fucking pool of blood on the floor.
Yeah.
So
stamps you into it.
He stamps the doctor's head. That's what he does, doesn't it? The doctor says, "Say one word," and he just stamps his head into the floor. And then there's the showdown back at at Laurie Strode's house, and that's the showdown. That's the final finale, which I thought myself wasn't an epic set piece. Now I've not watched H2O for many years, but if I remember, it's either a school or it's like a big venue facility kind of thing with like tables and chairs and halls where it takes place at the end, and that was a bigger set piece for me. I know I'm comparing it to H2O, but that was 20 years ago, and that was supposed to be the official sequel that we never got.
Yeah.
That retconned all the shitty sequels. So to me, I just think the set piece could have been better. I think it'd have been better if they went back to the asylum and the set piece were in there or something. Just something bigger. It's like they didn't have the budget, and I'm sure they had a decent budget. Even like the Texas Chainsaw remake that came out, the fucking Michael Bay remake that was fucking excellent. The final finale, that was all like in a slaughterhouse and stuff. I feel you can put things in a bigger set piece, and just that house. The whole film just took place in Haddonfield and then was back at the house. So they're just little bits and bats that I thought I would have done it different, but that's just me. The bit where the copper shanked the bit where the copper got shanked by the doctor was so fucking stupid. It's not even like he shanked him and then we're like, oh my god, what have I done? Like. He did it like he was the most normal thing ever. He was a proper 90s horror shit trait, that to me. Just to me. And I'm not going to give away the ending. I've given away enough. You know what happens. He fucking has a showdown with Laurie Strode back at the fucking house.
Yeah.
And it's whatever. But to me, like I said at the start, I enjoyed the film overall. I really thought it was a good film.
Yeah.
There was just so many little bits that it's like, like the bits I've mentioned, that just ruined it a little bit for me, and I don't think it ended epic enough. And it also ended where we could see another one. We could not. I don't like as well how she shot his fingers off. There's a point where Laurie Strode shotguns Michael Myers' finger. She takes 2 of his fingers off.
Yeah.
And I always like to think, look, if we're gonna see him again in another sequel, if he's gonna fight other people and that, I don't know, I don't want him to have his fucking hand cut off. I think once you make that much of a big fucking decision to a character after 40 years to take 2 of his fingers off, and then he makes him like disabled on that hand and stuff. He can't kill like he used to. He can't do it. He can't be throwing someone around.
It's a lot better than his eyes getting shot out in the second one. But I know they don't matter. I know they're not even a part of it anymore. But you know.
Yeah, I know. I didn't really like that bit. So there's a few little niggly bits with it. Overall, I thought it was a really cool film.
Yes.
I think I didn't say it was excellent. I put very good. I think that's what I voted. Very good.
Same.
A very good sequel. Way better than the Rob Zombie fucking Halloween. 1,000 times better. The Rob Zombie Halloweens, I hated everything about them. Like they were so. That's a whole different podcast, but I really didn't like them. I loved it way better than them. I think I still like H2O better, even though the mask and the suit, everything looked better.
Yes.
The kills looked a lot better. The tone was a lot better. I think story wise, I preferred Halloween H2O.
Yeah. What was cool about this Halloween? The only thing with Halloween H2O was a lot of orchestrated music, wasn't it? I think it was the same person who did the Scream soundtrack.
Oh, you can tell a mile off. It's very reminiscent of the era. Yeah. I listened to it again recently. That soundtrack, and I could fully say it does seem a little bit dated now. The soundtrack in this film's fucking bad, boy. They've reimagined a lot of it. They've used the original theme, and then they've reimagined a little bit.
And it just fits in, and it's not like one where they've changed it too much and it doesn't have the same feel. It's got the same feel.
It's very good. No, Mr. Sandman though. We said
no, there wasn't.
Mr. Sandman. I thought
but
that
only,
might play
but
at
only,
the end.
But only Sandman came in on the second film. No, the second film.
No.
It was Halloween 2. And
are you sure?
Yeah, I promise you, mate.
Not the first film.
No, it wasn't the first one.
No,
it was the second one.
That, bro.
Honestly, mate, I'm telling you, it was the second one. Yeah, I think it was in the hospital. It was the second one when it came out. It was
What's the fucking opening scene to Halloween when it shows Haddonfield and it goes Mr. Sandman?
H2O.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's H2O,
wow.
man. It's H2O because
why have I got that in my head?
It's H2O because it's not. It's the second one. It's in it, and then in H2O with the nurse who from the very first one where he grabs a car when they all escape in the first film, the John Carpenter one. He takes that car from the place, doesn't it? And that nurse that's in it, she's in Halloween H2O at the beginning, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's the actual nurse.
Yeah.
It's her, Mr. Sandman. The kid's running around, and then she goes to a house front door, and there's something. The lights broke on the door, and she realizes.
I was so convinced that's on the first one, and I've even put on screenings of the first Halloween and watched it, and I still had that in my head that it was.
No, the only music that's in that film is there's a couple of these little rock ones. Is Don't Fear the Reaper. Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh, yes,
there's a couple of little things like that, but the music's just John Carpenter. But it's not that Mr. Sandman's.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
My head's like a sieve a lot of the time with facts and stuff because I'm always doing so much.
I'm 98% sure that's Halloween 2.
I'm sure you're right because I'm always doing so much and I'm remembering so much. I feel like your brain's like a toilet and there's so many facts that are in my head for years and all of a sudden I just forget them. My mate Chance in Texas says the same. So you'll be right, bro. I swear to God, my head's just like a sieve. But yeah, overall, just going back to the soundtrack, very fucking strong soundtrack. I just wish they'd save the Halloween theme for that fucking moment.
Yeah.
You can see why in it when they first face each other.
I didn't mind it. But I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It was mint, but it gave me enough of that theme and enough of the music itself within the film that I didn't think in that.
And
sense.
There was a couple of nods to the first one.
Yes.
There's the classic scene when she kicks Michael out the window.
Yeah,
at the
original when he shoots him, and he falls off the balcony, and they look over and he goes. And he's there, and he's not there. But it's the opposite. It's reversed, isn't it? Yeah. Michael Myers looks over the balcony, and Laurie Strode isn't there. He's like, he's not there.
Yeah, there's a couple of times where it changes to be like we're following Michael, and we're like, "Yo, where's Laurie?" He's looking for Laurie, and Laurie's gonna bust out and shoot him. So
I like that. I did like that dynamic. I did like the dynamic with that.
And obviously, Jamie Lee Curtis is just a fucking goddess, man. She's unbelievable. She's so fucking good. She's so. I don't know about that, bro. She's so fucking good. She's so good. She's so good in that role. And I mean, obviously, you want to see her in any role. She's awesome. She's so good as Laurie Strode, and to see her. But do you know what? I liked Laurie Strode more in this than H2O. What they'd done with the character, how she was, because she wasn't like Sarah Connor is fucked up, but she's so she's a lot more calculated. Where Laurie Strode's having breakdowns, she's crying, she's drinking, she's an alcoholic. She's fucked up from this thing. She can't even. You can tell what she's like. She can't even go to a restaurant and sit down without looking over her shoulder because she thinks that Michael Myers might be there.
Yeah, because she's becoming a machine, isn't she?
Yeah. But she's become a machine. But she's drinking. She's an alcoholic.
I meant from Terminator. No.
What?
She's almost like a machine.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah, that's why she's like.
very much so.
She's very like the opposite of Terminator. Whereas
Yeah, whereas Laurie Strode, she's drinking, she's having a breakdown, she's had her kids took off her. You could tell she's had 2 failed marriages and all this stuff. So you could tell that she's a lot more broken. And I always wanted a more broken character than the one that's so fucking collected.
Because what would you do? You know what I mean? You know that this guy and you've been through this.
Imagine I was sat in the cinema and I'm thinking we were sat in cinema and I'm thinking if I'm Laurie Strode sat in the cinema, I'm looking on my shoulder every 2 minutes because Michael Myers might fucking be there. Anyone I see with a mask's gonna. No wonder she's gone into fucking recluse mode and she's built this fortress in the middle of woods. So there's all the little tropes that we mentioned that make it like a bit iffy. They're always going to be there though. That's the thing. We're never going to watch a movie apart from maybe like Infinity War and shit, where you watch a film and it's as perfect as you want it to be.
I don't agree on that as well. That's another conversation.
Okay. But like, for me personally, a lot of the Marvel films I watch and they're pretty fucking perfect. You know they're going to be good. Whereas like Predator and the new Star Wars and all these things that are a throwback to things that we grew up on and that we loved for many years. There's always going to be some stuff that's like, oh, why did they do that? It's so annoying. And we make the fucking choice.
It's a personal choice.
Yeah, we make the choice to watch these films knowing that they're going to change what we know. Because you're always going to watch Halloween now and know, right, this is officially what happens next. Yes. Whereas, and to me, H2O ended so perfectly when she took his head off with the axe, and there's none of that. As like I said, this film ends that it could go either way. They could do another one, they couldn't. But either way, overall, I enjoyed it. I'd recommend people go and see it.
Yes.
Definitely go and see it, support it. But if you've listened to this podcast, you've probably already seen it because we did say about the spoilers. But yeah, we've just gone over half an hour. We're going back to Celluloid today to watch the rest of the films. So it's going to be. Let's see what else we get out of the weekend.
Yes,
if we get a chance to review any more, which we might not even have a chance. But I definitely wanted to do these two because we had a bit of time to do it, and they're 2 big films everyone's talking about.
The first night as well. What a night!
Opening fucking night. Oh, and the only other thing I wanted to say is it took a while for Michael to get his mask. He killed quite a few people without the mask.
Yes.
And we had a few shots where I thought we might have seen his face, and someone next to me even said, "When is he gonna get? Where's his mask? Where's his mask?" So yeah, there's a few little bits, but watch it, see what you think, and then we can all have a good discussion about it in the comments below when you've seen it. This has been the Lowdown Shelter. I'm Theo Kane. That's Chris Hill.
Indeed.
And for now, we're gone. Boom.
Peace.